What's going on, everyone? My name is Syed Askari, and welcome to the first episode of Contractor Podcast. So last 5 years, my focus has been empowering contractors to grow, expand their businesses through direct advertising, mostly Facebook ads, Google ads, and content creation. So the reason why I started this podcast is to share some inspiring success stories from the industry with you guys, what builders, architects, contractors are doing as the industry evolves and continue to grow. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Today, we've got a very special guest, Mr. Julian Foster. He is the co-owner of Triangle Swimming Pools. He's based out of Raleigh, North Carolina, and his hometown is Clayton, North Carolina. So, Julian, you have a bachelor's degree in nursing, which we're going to talk about because I did not know you had one.
Yeah.
But you also love fishing, boating, camping, everything, spending some time with family. So that's super exciting, man. That's awesome. Welcome to the podcast, man. How are you?
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm wonderful, man. I'm excited to be here. I'm thankful to be here. This business has been life changing, and a lot of that is because of what you and your company has done. So I'm grateful to be sitting here on Friday at 2:00 in the afternoon, and I'm not on anybody's clock. So
of course, yeah. I love it, man. I love it. Appreciate it. I think let's step back and it's been 2 years since we've been doing business together, and I've just kind of seen you evolve from where you were 2 years back to where you guys are now, the phenomenal growth.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to jump back and kind of hear your background. Where did you grow up? How did you get into the pool industry in specific? And what are obviously we'll take it from there. So I'll let you take the floor, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just pretty amazing journey. I grew up in a very small town about 30 minutes east of Asheville. Place called Nebo, North Carolina. Very simple place, very simple time, small town feel. It was great. I grew up across the street from Lake James, so I always loved water and boating. That's where I found my love for outdoors and camping and things like that.
Yeah.
And, when I was about 9 years old, we moved to the Raleigh area. And then that's where, things changed, just adapted a little bit, had more of a city life than that country life. But the outdoors is always who I am. I love simplicity. And then that's that part.
So what made you want to move to Raleigh?
Well, I didn't want to. My father, decided there's more opportunity to live here in Raleigh. And that's an amazing story in itself as,
Yeah.
In that part of town, everything was textiles. So, everybody was groomed to grow up.
What made you want to move to Raleigh?
The local plant, Burlington at the time. And that's what was expected and that's what was groomed into people. And, you don't know that until you're older. So moving out was definitely a blessing as it opened me up to new opportunities and new spaces that you don't even know exist when you're in that small box of a small town. That's pretty interesting.
Totally agree. So you moved to Raleigh when at the age of 9. After that, you went to college, kind of graduated, shift gears from nursing to contracting. So what happened there? I think there's a story there.
Oh, that's an interesting story in itself. I've always been an entrepreneur, just never had, a real vehicle that I found that could take care of the responsibilities that I knew I was having in front of me.
Yeah.
So, you kind of, get interested in things and have ideas and, you do those things and then you realize either it's not what you thought it was or it just doesn't make enough money to take care of what you need it to do. So I've always been an entrepreneur and a hustler and, had, great jobs.
Yeah.
I found a niche in leadership and I just love people. I love working with people. I got into nursing because my wife was a nurse and I was an entrepreneur. I had a couple tire shops and they were doing really well. And at the end of the night, we would trade stories and her stories were always how she helped people, how she saved a life. And, it was just so rewarding to hear her stories. And my stories was, hey, we made good money today. We made a lot of money today.
Oh, yeah.
And I got jealous. And I was like, I want what you have. You got a great schedule. You're helping people. And I was like, I want to try that.
Oh, yeah.
So I did. She said, well, she put me through school. She said, hey, try it out. If you like it, then, then we'll do it. And so I was a CNA first, which is a certified nursing assistant. And I took the class and I loved it. And I did 4 years of nursing school and I did 8 years as a nurse. I love it. I'm always going to be a nurse. I still have active license. And my goal is to be able to do what we're doing here so I can donate my time and go back to helping people when I can do that. So it's been a blessing. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's such a good cause here. I love that. So, okay. No, that's great. Graduated nursing school, and how did you even end up in like the pool industry? Like, what was that like?
Oh man, that's God's plan. This crazy. So I had been in nursing for quite some time. I was actually a director of nursing at a long-term care facility, and I had been there for about 3 years, and I had got frustrated with how insurance was dominating the decisions in healthcare, and it was kind of just a big blur. And I told my wife, I was like, I need to really, get out and do something different. So
Okay.
at that time, I went and took a job for about 2 years at a hospital, working as just a floor nurse. And I got out of that to do some of my own stuff. I actually had bought my great grandmother's house, and I remodeled that, flipped it in Nashville, and then came back home. And I was just sitting, just trying to find that next vehicle and figure out how to, make that money work that I had gained. And I have a friend, he owns a boat manufacturing company. Big shout out to Savannah Boats in Four Oaks, North Carolina. He's amazing. He got his hands on a pool mold. and this is, right when COVID was going on. And he said, Julian, I got this pool mold. And he said, fiberglass pools are amazing. And he said, there's a shortage in resin. And he said, but I have been allotted a certain amount of resin to build my boats, which is more than what I need. He said, long story short, you can dominate the market. I could build pools for you, and you would be the only person that can get a pool in this pandemic. And so, listen to that, of course, I'm intrigued. And it's just such a long shot.
Yeah.
And I just started doing research on fiberglass pools, and I'm doing research on pools in general. And I'm seeing, more and more how fiberglass is amazing.
Yeah.
And then I start making calls on how soon could I get a pool? And everybody's telling me 2-3 years out. And I call them back and I say, hey, man, how fast can you manufacture these pools? He said, I can manufacture you a pool every day.
Yeah.
I said, so you can get me a pool every day and nobody else can get pools for years. And he said, yeah. So, it became a puzzle and a mystery to me on how to take advantage of this opportunity and how to work in this industry.
Yeah.
But the more I started researching, the more I started seeing how the industry was flawed, like how the customer service was missing, or how there was a lot of people just not doing business the right way or not being honest. And it just intrigued me on how to put the pieces of the puzzle together to make everything work.
Yeah. This was back in 2021, right?
Yeah, back in 21. And so another amazing thing happened too. My friend I was telling you about, he's like a brother to me, but he told me, he said, hey, Julian, in order to make this work, you're going to have to be technical too. You're going to have a website. You can't go old school. And he said, you're going to have a marketing company help you with what you're doing. And that's actually how I met you, Syed. He helped me out and saw that when he saw you online and your marketing and stuff. And he's like, man, I've done a lot of work on my own for my boats. And he's like, I've looked at this guy's sites, and he's like, I'm telling you, it sticks out like a sore thumb what he's doing. This is the guy you need to go with. And that's when I rolled the dice. And, so what I didn't know at the time was he had one pool model, one mold. And so I'm out there marketing.
Wow.
To one pool. I have one pool that I can offer.
That one.
Listen, one. I'm so determined that I bought a trailer. I had it fabricated, and I put that fiberglass pool on the back of this trailer. I'm pulling this pool around to different potential customers, showing them the pool, showing them how that I can have that.
Man, gotta respect that hustle.
Yeah, man, it was pretty intense. Man, if I knew then what I knew now, I don't know, man. It's just like ignorance is bliss. There's like, so what other pools did I have to choose from? Like,
this is it.
But that's how it started.
It's like, it might look different at nighttime, but this is the only model we've got,
Yeah. And I sat at that table, man. I kid you not, my wife and my kids would tell you, when this was presented to me, this opportunity, this vehicle, and this puzzle, this mystery, I sat down at the dinner table every night with just studying and dissecting it, and breaking it down and trying to figure out and put this piece with that piece and this piece with that and make it all work. And it's like,
yeah,
it was just, it's an amazing story, man. It's an amazing journey. I'm just really blessed and thankful that it's working out.
That's awesome. How did you meet Craig? Did you know him before? The partnership?
So Craig and I'm telling you, man, it's all God's plan. It's amazing. He puts all the right people around you at the right time. So, Craig and I have known each other since we were 12. we played football together in high school. And I mean, he's just always been a dear person. And I actually saw him at a football game. And we hadn't seen each other in probably 15 years. And, and it was just like, we just connected right away. And once we saw each other again, we had conversation. I asked him what he was doing. And he said, I'm working for a commercial construction group. And at that time, that's when I had just got out of the nursing. And he said that, he was trying to build a house. And I said, hey, you want to build some houses together? He said, yeah. I said, okay. So we put together a company and we put together a plan and to build a house, and we built a house together and we sold that. Yeah. And then while we were building that house, we actually had got another customer to build a house for them. And that's when I had the opportunity for the pool company. Yeah. That kind of all went in at the same time. And so I presented the opportunity to Craig for the pools. And I said, Craig, what do you think? He's like, I would love it, and big props to him, for having some guts and taking some risk. Yeah. Because if he would have told me no, that he thought it was a bad idea, we would have kept just building houses. So we not only, started the pool company, it was so great and so much better than and faster than what we were doing with the houses. We stopped building houses. And that's how me and Craig jumped into business together.
That's awesome, man. Good for you guys. I'm sure your first year in business, every business owner, there's a lot of hiccups, a lot of challenges.
Oh, yeah.
I'm curious to hear, what were some of your biggest challenges when you first started in the business?
Yeah, so I'll try to, keep my thoughts as organized as possible, but there's a ton of challenges. One challenge was just getting people to earning people's respect to take you serious, in any industry that you first get in. I remember going to supply houses and trying to get information and not knowing anything about what I'm trying to ask for. I don't even know how to ask the question correctly because I'm learning. Just don't take the time to think that you're serious or that you're going to amount to anything in that field. And just people just, blocking paths for you on that, people that you're potentially spending dollars with still treat you that way. Yeah. I remember my first supplier, just, nobody wanted to give me the time of day. And I felt like I knew, who I was going to be and what we were going to do. So that was tough is, just being closed off to a lot of the resources that other people in your area already have. Then another big challenge that we had was finding quality equipment. Quality product, so some products are made better than others, and you don't know that until you know it. Equipment, okay. And so having access to those, there was different pool manufacturers that had territories, and they wouldn't allow us to buy from them. So you got a very limited amount of juice to offer your customers. Logistics of what we do was very difficult, and figuring out how to everything work at the right time. It's like planning a solar eclipse. But also too, finding good people that would see the vision that you have as being a partnership, almost, so to speak, for a long-term goal, people moving together. So I give you your roses. That's what you guys have been and have been from the very beginning. It's just amazing. That is just a great, I just don't even know how to describe it. I can't put it into words what your company has done for us and how that was the first partnership that was really expressed to me. Yeah. And I'm very, very grateful for that.
Appreciate it, man. I mean, give yourself some credit, man. If it wasn't for you, there would be no sales, here.
No, I don't know about that. You gave us opportunity. All I had was a concept. Yeah. And, you took care of the opportunity part. I wake up and, I don't know. I have to give everybody that testimony whenever, I have the opportunity to, because that's a section in itself.
Yeah, 100%. With your first year in business, I know you said there was a lot of hiccups, getting supplies, equipment, getting people to work, earning that respect. How do you go about, solving those problems? And that too in a pandemic when there's a lot of people were there's just backlogged, getting chlorine supply. That was a big issue. Absolutely. And then we had the pool equipment. How did you go about solving those problems?
Yeah. Absolutely. Honestly, man, God's blessings. Like I said, I feel like he put the right people around me in the right place, just being determined, asking the right questions, not taking no for an answer. I remember there were times when I didn't have anything to do and I said, I'm going to get up and I'm going to find an opportunity somewhere.
Yeah.
And so I would get up and I would start, reading my notes, and I would start calling different people. Luckily, I did have a nephew who was in the pool industry.
Yeah.
And I told him what I was trying to do. And then he told me about a guy that, had just stepped out on his own, who knew a lot about pools, who could possibly, vision. And I met this guy at Chipotle, and we sat down at the table, told him what I was thinking about doing and how I was going to do it. And, he looked at me like I had four eyes,
yeah,
not counting the glasses. Just like, I know he was just thinking, man, hey, this guy's, I don't know, this guy's dreaming. He's pretty ambitious. He was also used to a lot of people in the industry just not being trustworthy. So he just didn't know how to take me. And then, as we started talking, we talked again, and it worked out. We did everything we said we were going to do, and it worked out exactly how we said it was going to work out. And then, so it was like that with every person. My goal was to talk to people and have people understand that the most important model of what we're trying to do is establishing relationships and moving in the same way. I'm not going to take advantage of you. I don't want you to take advantage of me.
Yeah.
I want your family to be taken care of. I want us all to win. I told them, we should never have to worry about, money. I'm not going to, try to make more money so you can make less. I'm not going to try to not pay you to make more. What would it look like if we all moved together, common goal, did the best job that we could for the customer, and actually be here for the customer and give that customer service? What would it look like? And the answer is, it looks like Triangle swimming pools, because that's exactly what we do.
That's amazing, man. Isn't it crazy? Like, you set a goal and then you have certain values. You want to make sure everybody aligns with them. Everybody row in the same direction. How powerful is that force where you all are moving in the same direction for that one goal? And you see that impact you have on other people's life, like someone's cool, someone that's their dream, like that's their life saving, and you're making that come true. And like having a team put together that are experts at what they do, and it was literally all your idea. And obviously, you and Craig, but it's just crazy to see like how from zero to what were you guys at right now as far as like revenue?
Revenue last year, I think we ended up like I want to say 1.8 last year.
8 million.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How big was your team like first year versus what is it now? How big is your cruise?
Oh, our model was amazing, man. When we first started, it was just me and Craig in that pool I was telling you, we're pulling around. That was it. We subcontracted out a lot, but we didn't have a team, team. Yeah. Our model is a little bit different, so we still don't have a lot of employees, but now it's me, a business partner, Craig. Hired on a project manager, Derek. We also hired Craig's wife on full time as our bookkeeper. And she's amazing. Amy Lee, big shout out to her. She's amazing. She keeps us straight.
Yeah, awesome.
And we got accountant. We have our marketing team, which is you guys, Syed.
Right.
We have another marketing guy that helps with just to maintain the website. We have 2 install crews that work with us now. We got another big shout out is the H2O Lawn Care Triad, Jeff Edwards and Zach. Amazing guys. We kind of partner with them so we can do total backyard renovations. That has been working beautifully.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Chasing Concrete. We still work with those guys. Amazing.
Yeah.
Work with Juan and his group with Pika Concrete.
Yeah.
And if I left anybody out, I'm sorry. But Dave, our install group with Trinity Pools, amazing guy.
Yep.
And all of these guys, and I gotta say this, and I'm not making this up.
Yeah. And
if you don't like it, then just too bad. I'm never gonna not praise the Lord, man. This is all God's blessings. They're all believers. I could play this if I tried, but I can't take credit for it. Saying that's how Triangle, I used to think it was Triangle because of the area we lived in, that's how we came up with the name, was Triangle Swimming Pools, because the Triangle Research Triangle Park, but starting to think that it's more of the Trinity. I can't make this up, and I can't take credit for it.
That's awesome, man. I've honestly, like, personally, we talk to like tens of hundreds of contractors every day. Pool industry, hardscape, roofing, you name it, remodelers. The biggest challenge that I've seen, right around 500 to a million, they're just stuck at that revenue level and they can't pass that, grow to a million, million and a half, 2 million. And what were some of your key strategies or some of the decisions that you made in the company that really impacted the actual growth to like 1.8?
I can tell you exactly. I can tell you a few different combinations of what led to that. One is making mistakes. I remember when we first started, and Craig started too. He came from a different background.
Yeah.
We were working with your company, and I was very pleased with things, and things were going well. And Craig felt like, okay, Julian, well, yeah. He lived beside a guy that did marketing, and of course, he thought he had a different strategy that worked better than what we were doing. And so we talked about it, we met about it, and we said, okay, well, we'll give it a shot. And that's when I had called you guys, and we tried it out, and we had something that was working for us in our first year. We were selling pools. It was great. I mean, we were doing very well. We left your company, Syed. I don't know if I even shared this with you, but we didn't sell a pool for 5 months. 5 months that we were gone. And now I just that old adage, if it worked, if it's not broke, don't fix it. We shouldn't have done it. And luckily you were graceful enough. You were very, I now admire you for this. You didn't scoff at me. You were never mean to me when I told you I made the decision I was going to try something different. And when you took me back with open arms. And I'm thankful for that. And so when we came back, we knew then, there was no doubt, it had been tested that what you were doing was working. That works for us. Yeah. And that we knew that, okay, this is where we need to put our focus on, and we put faith and we put our resources here. And that's what we did. We trusted what you did. And then we worked off of that. So to be 100% honest, I feel like the reason that we are where we're at now is because we did make those mistakes, but we do the most with the opportunities that you give us through the marketing that you provide for us. That you give us, if it's in our area, we do call them, we try to make contact, we do try to let them know who we are and what makes us unique compared to the people in our industry. And we don't let any opportunities go away. There is no unchecked opportunity that comes to us that we don't make this stuff. And that's how we've got the growth, is between, having you first send us those opportunities and us then taking advantage of them and doing what we can with them. And we also, we do our part, we try to be innovative, and we try to go to the home shows. We talk to people, we try to help people, even if they call us and, our application isn't what they're looking for. So, but it does start. I think if we didn't have the marketing opportunity that we did with you, I can honestly say we definitely wouldn't be where we're at. But I think it would take years to get where we're at. 2 trips in 2 years from different manufacturers, awards for how many pools we're selling. And I'm going to ask, how are you doing it? How is this happening? We don't see this, this growth this fast. We just don't. And then I tell them, and I don't tell them everything. I don't tell all my secrets. But it's unique to be here where we're at. And I hope that answers the question.
So you really picked one lead source, whether obviously you guys are doing Facebook ads as like your primary lead source. You guys picked one and you went all in. I've seen a lot of, times, a lot of contractors, they don't spend enough if they are doing advertising on either Facebook or Google, or maybe if they're getting leads from, let's say, like lead generation sources, Angie's, Home Advisor, they just don't spend enough to get that lead. Now, it was very risky for you in the start as well. We're like, hey, do I spend that much money? It's a lot of money to spend on advertising. Do I do that? What like for you, and why did you going with it? If you did not see the light at the end of the tunnel, I'm sure you did not close like 5 pools in the first month.
No, that's a great question, Syed. It was very scary in the beginning because, you got a limited amount of resources, and that limited amount of resources means that you got a limited amount of time to make things work, or, you got to punt, and then, you might not have the resources to start this over. So that's super scary. And it's, it's a big risk, but one thing that I like, when we talk, and I haven't found anybody else, especially in your market, that would do what you did. You were the only person that said, I'm not going to tie you to a contract. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to give you X amount of leads. And if you don't get this, then you don't pay. And there's no contract signed. It was performance based. You were confident in what you did. And that was the first reason that I said, okay, well, that makes sense. If you back up what you say you can do, then why wouldn't I give it a shot? I said, okay, well, you're a business owner. You got to take risk. I said, I got, and my number, this might not be for everybody. My number was $10,000. $10,000 this. And I said, if it doesn't work within the 2 months, I will know. And then know that it doesn't really work. I said, I'll know in 2 months. And I said, I lose 10 grand. That's not going to hurt. That's not going to, shut me down or break me. It's going to hurt. I'm going to feel it, but it won't keep me from moving forward. And I put that money down, and I had that faith, and you did what you said you was going to do. Yeah. And I did what I said I was going to do. And out of all of those opportunities, all it takes is one. It took one person for me to know, okay, this works. This is real. Yeah. And also too, the people that I was calling, they were real people that were really interested in trying to get a pool. It wasn't just some kind of random bot number of people not answering the phone. So each time I called somebody and they were interested and they wanted to talk to me just as much as I wanted to talk to them. Yeah. It boosted my confidence and made me want to keep calling these leads. I didn't have to go blind knocking or trying to sell somebody something that they didn't want. We're trying to connect with each other.
I love that.
So I'm finding something to do. I don't have any other work in the business but to try to find business. Yeah. And it gives me structure. It gave me something to do, something to follow up on, gave me hope in a sense too. And I just kept working with these people. Yeah. And it's like, it was great.
I think a lot of people fail to understand that the business 0 to 10, 0 to 1 million, million to 2, like the most value or the most, return on your time you can get is by creating opportunities and then talking to more opportunities. Like what else would you do? It's not like you've got a $10 million business where you have to manage teams. If you don't have opportunities, nothing else matters in your business. So you got to create them. You got to talk to them. Yeah. You got to close them so you can continue to generate more revenue. So I think to kind of like put it in a nutshell, this is for everybody who's listening, whether you're doing pools, hardscapes, landscape, roofing, set aside a dollar amount of budget for that. Hey, this is how much I want to invest. A marketing agency that specializes in that area, whether it's a landscape marketing, whether it's a roofing, whether it's a hardscape, whether it's pools. If they specialize it, they have great results, testimonials, that means it works. Okay. So go all in on that. Like, don't try to like put $50 and be like, oh, I'm going to try with $500 and see. Like, you guys need to understand, you guys specialize in your field versus, like the marketing agencies, they specialize in what they do best. So their recommendation is from that side of things. Like, how do we generate more opportunities for you? And at the end of the day, like Julian, what you did, like we got opportunities and you guys just start calling these people, qualifying them, seeing them in person so you can be in front of them, right? Like, what was that like? Like, how long was your follow-up process? Like, did you give up? Like, hey, these people are not answering, or did you like, hey, I want to talk to them, I want to text, I want to make sure I'm in front of them?
Oh yeah, so that's a great question, but also too the add a little bit of what you said, Syed. This is important too, I think, for people to know, and when we left and we didn't sell a pool for 5 months, I cannot tell you how big of a setback that was. Yeah. And like how difficult it was to climb out of that and to stay in business. It really set us behind. But what you're saying is, different companies specialize in different things. And so even though I think that, Craig's neighbor, had the best intentions, but his market scheme or his market plan and strategy did not translate to pools, and it almost sank us. So I would recommend definitely, what you're doing and specializing in pools, go with someone that specializes in pools.
Yeah.
I'll add that $2 cents. But what was it that you asked me, Syed?
Forgot to. There you go. The question was, out of your follow-up process, like, how long did you follow up with the lead for? What was that process?
So we don't play around. I feel like if you want to be successful at this business or any business, ability is one of these. That's the secret. That's the secret sauce. You got to show people that, you're there when other people aren't there. And so as soon as I got that lead, I'm answering it if I can. If I'm not, like, if it's not an outrageous time of night, which I had to train myself on that. I used to do that. Like, if it came in at 9 o'clock at night, I know that you're by that computer at 9 o'clock at night, and I'm texting you or calling you. And my wife was like, you shouldn't do that. It's 8:00 and, you need to go to bed. I was like, well, they're up and I'm up. And I needed the lead. I needed the business, every sale we needed to have it because we didn't have many. So, I feel like as quickly as you answer them, chance that you have to earn in their business, because they're going to remember the first person that they talked to and how you made them feel. And they'll remember you, and they're going to remember the last person. So when I got a lead, I called them. Setup is that you send us, I'll call them. First thing I do, I call them twice because a lot of times they think that it's going to be a bad number because we get that too. We get a lot of spam. And then I email them, and then I text them. And then so if I don't hear anything back, then I will follow up. But then too, the CRM was very helpful. And I was very resistant to that at first. I'm not a tech guy, so I didn't realize how powerful that tool was. So I'm writing down, different people that I talked to. But the CRM really helped me when I did make contact. I could make notes in there, or I could email or text them from that. And then I could put it over to the next column.
Staying organized. Yeah. See where everybody's at. That right here is the gold. By actually putting in the work. All the leads and you don't call any of the leads, at the end of the day, you just lost all that revenue and it's just stuck there.
Well, that's
you could have gone with another contractor, maybe your competitor, because you didn't call them in time. The gold right here is just calling them, texting, emailing them, and making sure you're able to talk to that person, right? Like they have an intention of getting a project and you want the first person that they talk.
And it's stupid too if you don't call your leads back, because if you're paying for a marketing program, those leads cost you X amount of money per lead. Why would you not call that back? Like that's the way I looked at it. I had to, me and Craig, I had to help him understand things a little bit differently, because we all come from different backgrounds and, you all look at things differently, but whenever that lead came in, at that point in time, I think leads were costing me I think it averaged to $100 a lead. So he's like, oh, I'll call it later. Oh, you just spent $100 on that. You're not going to call it. I'm calling that back right now. That's, but if you do it.
Man, I love that mindset.
You got it. If you do it, you're going to win. I'm going to love it. If you do not get one sale out of 30 leads, I feel like you really got to reflect and see what you're doing wrong and how you're pitching your business or what your business is missing. Because 1 out of 30, you can't do that. Craig and I got to a point to where the reason we didn't get as many sales, I think, in the first half of it is because we just didn't have a reputation. And the pool business is so difficult to break into. So it was just mistrust. They didn't know. We didn't have any references.
And literally my next question to you.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Your own presence, how much of that impacts sales? Because people feel like if they don't push content on social media, if they don't get reviews on Google, can still make Facebook ads work. Always been the type of, I'm like, you gotta do both hand in hand. What's your take on this?
You have to be present. When you go and then you get in front of these people, the pool comes second. You're selling yourself. That that lead gets you an opportunity to get in front of somebody. Like my goal, and it still is, my goal isn't to sell you a pool as soon as I get that lead. My goal is to have that opportunity to be able to get in front of you. That allows me to get in front of you. You will have a lot of people that try to avoid doing the consult because they don't want to spend the time to go out and do the consult part. They want to try to establish a sale over the phone. That's not how it works. There's 20 other people buying the same product that you have to offer. That lead is trying to get in front of them and you're doing a consult so you can show them who you are. And they know and they feel comfortable with you. Then they start looking at the product that you have to offer. So you can't do that if you're not involved and you're not all in. You have to be all in and you have to be dedicated to it 100% every day.
I love that.
If you sell pools or whatever you do, you have to do it every day. There's no 100%, there's no 60% or 50%. It's all in.
What's your plan for the year 2024?
Oh man, my plan. Hey, like I told you, I learned if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But you keep doing what you're doing, man. You keep, if it's working. I feel like we're successful because the people that are around us. We're honest. We try to do the right thing, no matter what it looks like. We're always, tell you the truth, no matter what. And we're that's the plan, and keep adding value in people's lives. And we want to turn a complicated process something that's very enjoyable.
Are you in just doing fiberglass or wanting to tap into gunite, vinyl liner, or maybe just, any other ventures?
Yeah, we're in conversation about offering more product options for our customers. We have been talking about doing more vinyl liners just because we do turn, and that's another thing, I'm not a big fan of this, but we turn down a lot of business.
Yeah.
So that's something too, when you got a lot of your customers that want you to offer a service and you're turning it down, that's not,
Yeah.
I don't feel like you're giving your customers what they're asking you to do.
Yeah.
So we are trying to expand to include vinyl liners. I think that's going to be our next step in expanding triangle swimming pools.
What trends are you seeing right now as far as like economy and like, interest rates going up, and as far as like from 23 going into 2024, like what are some of the trends like you're seeing in the industry?
People are more on the dollar and shopping more.
Yep.
I feel like it is getting more competitive to make a sale. But again, I feel like, you can skirt that by selling yourself, by offering more service than the next person. I see that most of the people, you would think that they're more concerned with price, but it's really not. It's more so service and who makes them feel comfortable. So I do see that people are concerned with interest rates, financing. Yeah. Using financing companies have slowed down, so more people are buying pools that are paying in cash than financing right now. Even though, and then I tell you, perception is a lot. Everybody always thinks the sky's falling. Well, the sky's not falling. Everybody's broke. No,
it's not falling.
Everybody's not broke. There's a lot of people that have a ton of money, and honestly, people that can afford what we're doing, the interest rates is not really important.
There's always going to be something happening with the interest rates, economy. At the end of the day, people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. Can do that. Guess what? You're going to have people end up, like, hey, I want to do business with Julian, Like, it's not even about, like, I want a pool. I want to get a pool from Julian. That's how powerful that is. Yeah. That's awesome. Good to hear that. So what's, like, your next 5 to 10 year plan? Like, where do you want to take this? Is it like an egg plan or... like what we're on, man.
I am getting old, man. So hang on, I'm 40. Well, my bio said I'm 47, and then Craig reminded me I'm 46. So
I'm getting older.
So I am getting old, man. Definitely. I'm hoping that our goal for what we're doing is to try to build this business, and hopefully one of our kids will be interested in carrying it on and carrying the legacy on. But Craig and I's goal was also to make sure that not only we prosper from it, but everybody that worked with us, they prospered from it and their families were okay too.
Yeah.
So, when we're thinking about the decisions that we're making and where we're going with this thing, we're always thinking about the people that work with us and their families, not just us. We want everybody to win, and we want our customer to win. And so that's what we're just going to keep doing. We're going to keep trying to build our model to offer, more service, more customer service.
Love that.
We're going to be even more skilled at what we do in our trade. That's another thing that I'm proud of to say about Craig and I. We're both, I call it undercover nerds. So we're lifelong learners. We want to know what the best practices are. We want to do it better than everybody else, and we want to exceed codes and standards.
I love that. Yeah.
We wanted to be the Chick-fil-A of pools, and that's what we're trying to do, and we're doing pretty good at it. And so we just expand our model and just keep growing and keep just see where this thing takes us, and also just create opportunities for other people who got the same mindset that we had.
I guess we're almost time at wrapping things up. Last 2 questions for you. If someone's starting a pool business or wants to get into pool business, or are stuck at $100K, $1 million, what is advice to them?
Deep.
And man,
it is a loaded question, man. First, I would say, like in you hear, the elders tell you this, think about the whys of why you're doing it. Make sure that it's not, wealth or money that motivates you, because eventually that's going to change. For people starting, I'm saying, if you're just starting, do as much research as you can. Nobody gets anywhere alone. Talk to some people, and you'll be surprised how many people will be willing to share information with you. You need to set up a network of people around you to help you do different things. Be good at one thing. You've got specialties in everything. So putting your team together. But I said, before you even move and you jump past, if you're just starting, put your team together and be intentional with who you pick to be on your team, because you're only as good as the people around you. So that's my advice for the people who are just starting. For the people that are stuck at 500,000, I would say evaluate it. Are you fit to investing, marketing, into tech, into additional ways that you may feel uncomfortable with, because the times that you can't cold call, you can't door knock. You have to put money aside for marketing. That was probably one of the biggest things that we did that helped us. And that wasn't because of me knowing to do that. It's because somebody else that was already successful and had done it was telling me what he did. So if you do not have that, then it's not time for you to start your business. But then also too, if you're doing those things and you're still stuck at 500K, like I said, it goes back to evaluating your mindset, evaluating what you're doing every day. Do you take every single opportunity that comes across your desk? And when you don't, do you go out and try to create new opportunities?
Amen. Yeah.
Procrastinate, and do you wait and say, I'll do this tomorrow, or I'll do this the next day? You got to hustle. You got to want it more than the person that you're competing against, but you also got to be a genuine person and a good person, and make your customers feel comfortable. You got to be doing it for the right reasons. And so I evaluate your product, evaluate your price of product, evaluate your competition. Do you know what everybody else around you is selling their product, real product for that sell? And do you know what they're offering in that package? I know, because I research and I've sat down and all of my competitors in their offer know what they offer versus what I do. So when my customer says, well, I have this quote and this and yours is this. Well, yeah, you do, but they didn't give you this, and this. And so it's not apples to apples.
Got to have an apples to apples comparison. I was going to say that. Awesome, man. I love that. To connect with you, talk to you, learn from you on social media, what would be the best way for them to do so?
You can always email me. Julian@tripools.com will be the best. Just email me. Shoot me your question, shoot me your number, your name, what you're interested in, what you want to learn. And I'm always a big who. Who are you? So how do you want to learn this stuff, and what are you going to do with your success, and how are you going to get it? What are you willing to do to get what you want? I'm really particular about who's in my circle and what kind of mindset they have. So I always say motivated people will always, attract.
Yeah.
Sometimes you attract motivated people, but I want to know if you're motivated. When you're not doing this, for the right reasons, then I don't have a lot to help you with.
It was like, I ain't got time for that.
No, but
that's all that.
But if you got a good cause and you're motivated and you really, really, really want this, and you're willing to put the work in and put the sacrifice in, and you're not playing around, and this is what you want, I'm here to help.
That's awesome. Julian, appreciate your time today.
Yeah, man.
I know you're busy. You took time out of your day for this interview. So super grateful for you and Craig and everything what you guys do. And I can't wait to see what you guys accomplish there. So thank you.
Yeah, man. Well, in closing, man, thank you, Syed. Everything you guys do, you and your team are amazing, phenomenal, true partners. I wish I could say that for everybody I did business with, but that's just not true. And big shout out to Amy, Craig, Derek, Dave, Aaron, Keith. Everybody. It's just been a blessing, man, and it's been so. Just thank you to everybody that helped put this together.
Awesome, love that. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I will see you all on the next episode. Thank y'all. Bye.